The problem with AI is not that it's dumb, it is just too smart. And many times you need tools that follow your exact instructions. Take a look at this mockup. You can change the background color to whatever you want, whatever shade you want. On top of that, let's say you want to change the design. You double click right here, bring in whatever element you want, type in whatever text you want. I've done this for you. And once you save it, it will be directly on the t-shirt just like so. On top of that, you already know you can change the color of any material to whatever you want. So much flexibility you have in modifying all these colors, and you can even go ahead and change the color of the button to exact shade of red that you want. I got this mockup from ENVATO, but you can create a mockup like this very easily. We have many videos on that. But the point is, if you were to compare this with AI and describe the exact same things that you want, like black t-shirt, red accents, and also added the reference photo that you wanted to add, let's see what it does by clicking on generate. I don't know what to tell you. Have a look at the text, have a look at the graphic, and even if you ignore all of that, here's the before, here's the after. It eats up all the nice texture, and the graphic element right there, it doesn't even sit on the t-shirt. And even if AI got really good, consider this, you can change this anytime. You don't like the text, just double click here, change the text to whatever you wish and save it. And once you come back to that, have a look, the text is changed. You can change the color to whatever you want. You don't like the red? You can change it to yellow if that's your color. The thing is, AI creates a painting, but it doesn't give you the brush. And no matter how good AI gets tomorrow, these Photoshop tools give you something that AI cannot: control. And that makes all the difference. In this video, we are going to explore 9 Photoshop tools that are timeless and beats any prompt every single time. I also have little gifts for you throughout the video, so without any further ado, let's get started. Back in the magical world of Photoshop, and I want you to take a look at this crazy yellow teeth fellow. Usually when I'm doing thumbnails and I want to make my teeth whiter, I simply play this action that I created. Go to Window, Actions, and by the way, a gift for you, you can download this action absolutely for free. Let's search for whiten teeth. All I have to do is just play it. It automatically selects the brush for me, automatically picks white as the foreground color, and then all I have to do is just paint over the teeth. And it doesn't make it very white. And also I have the option to decrease the opacity if you think it is too white, so 60%, very natural. Now, precise actions are some things that are very hard for any AI to replicate reliably. If I were to select this area and I'm giving AI a smaller area for higher resolution, even then, if we click on Generative Fill, we are choosing the latest model, Nano Banana 2, and typing in naturally whiten the teeth. I already did it for you. Have a look at the result. This is what it did. Now, some of you might say it's a good starting point, but watch. Here's the before. Here's the after. Those are not my teeth. And even if you think, hey, I'm not doing it professionally, I don't have to be that precise. Have a look. It creates all of these edges that you need to take the brush to erase as a mask. It is just way easier to apply an action in Photoshop. Before we move forward, thanks to ENVATO for sponsoring this video, one of the very few platforms that still focus on real assets. Whatever you do as a creative, this is the one thing that I've recommended to everyone for almost a decade now, way before this partnership, because you get unlimited downloads of any creative asset in the world that you can think of. Just look at the last 500 PiXimperfect videos. Most of them use templates, stock photos, videos, or motion graphics from ENVATO. You get millions of real stock photos, thousands of Photoshop actions, plugins, presets, and even layer styles. You also get access to beautifully crafted fonts, branding, and design assets. And if you're into video editing, you have hundreds of thousands of real stock videos in high resolution, along with all the special effects and motion graphics you'll ever need. All of this, over 28 million creative assets, comes in one single subscription with unlimited downloads. The same subscription also includes AI tools for generating images, videos, and voiceovers, powered by the leading AI models like Nano Banana and Google's Veo 3. So you get AI when you need it, and real assets by real professionals when the precision matters. With every asset, you get a license to use them both commercially and non-commercially at no extra cost. Check out ENVATO using the link in the description. Even if you buy this as a mistake, you just cannot go wrong. Back to the video. Let's take a look at a more complex action. I got this from ENVATO, and by the way, it's all unlimited once you're in. Let's open this up. I have an action for automatically selecting the subject. Just simply play it and it should take care of everything automatically. On top of that, it asks you to change all of these settings according to your taste. If you wanted the reds to be a little bit darker, you can have those and have this change right here. If you want it to be brighter, that's up to you. Somewhere here is fine for me. Hit OK for now. You also have control over the levels. So you can do something like this and it's done. And you have the freedom to modify this however you wish. For example, you have many options for the background, like this one, that one. Everything is not just customizable to what the action has, but if you have the knowledge of Photoshop, you can do wonders. For example, just above the background, I can add some text. Let's make it larger, place it right there. And that's not just the end of it. You can double click on the right hand side of the layer to make it blend with all the colors. Take the slider of the underlying layer from left to right. There you go. It's blending nice. Anything can be done at any point if you know how to do it, and this flexibility you don't get with AI. Another thing that AI just cannot do is color grading or using LUTs. Speaking of LUTs, I have a gift for you. I was color grading this photo using a bunch of adjustment layers and I exported it as a LUT. By the way, here's a tutorial on how to exactly do that. And that LUT you can download absolutely for free. It's an amazing warm LUT. Let's take a look at this photo. I want to add that same LUT. Click on the adjustment layer icon and choose color lookup. Click on the drop down here and choose load 3D LUT. Locate where you have downloaded it, just open that up and boom, done. Have a look at it. Here's the before, here's the after. And you can always change the opacity, and if you think it's not too much, you can double it up. Select this, Control or Command J, double the effect. And maybe you wanted this effect more in the background, so here's what you do. Turn both of them off, just come to the background. And then in the contextual taskbar, click on Select Subject. You can also do it the other way. Once the selection is in place, turn both of them back on. Go to the mask of the second one with the foreground color black, press Alt Backspace or Option Delete. There you go. That area does not have that extra effect. And if you're working with ENVATO, they have a new LUT library. If you open up LUTs here or click there, it opens up a brand new page with the same image with different LUTs applied. And you can download individually. And here's what's great. You can click here and upload your own photo. So I'm going to click right here. Let's say you want this photo. Click on Open. Now you have all the LUTs with your photo. Let's search for warm LUTs. Say you want to go with this. This is a beautiful color. Here's the before. Here's the after. Click on download. We're going to use the same process again. Adjustment layer icon, color lookup. Click on load. We're going to choose this one that we just downloaded. Click on open and there we have it. When looking for LUTs, you can even search for terms like retro. And if you think the preview is not large enough, you can always click on this button and increase the display size. Say you really like this high contrast look, always remember, opacity is your best friend. This looks amazing, but we as humans always go extreme. So select any of the tool that is not a brush, and then if you press 5, the opacity would be 50. If you press 8, the opacity would be 80. And if you had to ask AI to do anything like give this image a retro color grade, it changes the image. Here's the before. Look at the details. Here's the after. It's not the same person. And you don't want that when you're color grading. Have a look at this. This is originally a leaf here, right? It turns that into a snake skin. In the beginning of the video, we already talked about how AI messes mockups. Not only it just messes up the texture, changes the original stuff, but even if it does get good, what you don't get is the option to change the fonts, the design elements, the little intricate minute details. And when you're doing e-commerce, you want the colors to be exactly the color the customer gets. That's why precision is important, and there is no match for these tools. By the way, this is a mockup that I made, absolutely free for you to download. I'm going to leave a download link in the description. You can obviously change the background to whatever you wish by clicking here. It also changes the shadow color without worrying about it. And if you wanted to change the design, let's open this up, double click. Obviously, you can change it to a different pattern, Control or Command S. And once we go back, see, the pattern changed. Now, here's another fold there. So we need to double click there and change the pattern here as well to whatever you want. Control or Command S. The pattern is changed here as well. Look how nicely everything just folds. Just to explain this to AI, to get a pattern exactly like this, to get a background exactly of that color, and to get it right in every aspect will take so many repeats that it's just easier to do it this way. On top of that, you get flexibility. If you wanted the text to be a little up or a little down or a little small or a little big, you just always go back here. Select the text, Control or Command T. You can make it smaller, place it right here. Even 1 pixel up, 1 pixel down, totally up to you. Control or Command S. Then when you go back, there you go, perfectly adjusted. You can have as advanced mockups as you want. So this is a mockup that I downloaded, and back in Photoshop, this is how it looks. You have the label separately, the bottle separately, the cap separately, and you can modify anything. If you turn off the cap, have a look, it's the empty bottle. How cool. So if you open up the labels, just open that up, double click on label, and you can place anything here. So this is just a simple graphic that I'm pasting just to show you what is possible. Save it. There you go. Just that part shows up. It's so darn realistic. Look at the texture there. It's just so good. And that is what a good quality mockup should do. Give you flexibility. Let's talk about type, something very basic, but this is where tools like Photoshop absolutely shines. If you have seen my videos and seen my thumbnails, I often use type like this. It's a specialized style where a little bit of shine is added at the top, a slight beautiful 3D gradient is added, and even a slight texture is added to the text. Now it's saved as a PSD. You can customize it at any point. By the way, free for you to download, check the link in the description. Now by feeding this exact style, we created a very detailed prompt with Claude, where you can insert whatever text you want and it should do it in that style. I genuinely don't know what to say. Back to Photoshop and I can change it to whatever I want. I know I can select the text and do a dynamic text this way, so it's very much aligned. You also can change the font to whatever you like, something like this if that was your style, and make it smaller, larger, move it around, change the background, change how the highlights move. You see the point that I'm trying to make? And you can even take it a step further. If you search for text and look for add-ons inside of ENVATO, and let's go ahead and choose Adobe Photoshop and category layer styles, there are just so many styles to choose from. I downloaded this one, for example. Looks very complex, but you can modify it to whatever you want. For example, I can double click here, change the text to Pix because why not? And then save it. And once we get back, there you go. The text has changed. It's highly detailed. You can change it, move it, do whatever. Similarly, here's another one. I already changed the text. Just look at the texture. There are so many that you can try. I don't want to waste your time with this. I'm going to leave a link to all my recommendations in the description. When you add textures or overlays to your photo, they need to be absolutely high resolution. And that is something that AI does struggle with. Many times it's way easier to search for high quality stock texture than trying to generate over and over again and rolling the dice. For example, I've searched ENVATO for concrete texture, and no matter where you look, it's all real. You would not zoom in to find a patch of a mosquito skin. So for example, you like this, let's download it. Back in Photoshop, and let's say you wanted to add that texture here. So I'm going to go to my Finder. Here's that same texture. Let's drag it and drop it and make it larger like so. And to have it just in the background, you know what to do. Let's turn it off, come back to the subject layer. You can open up your contextual taskbar and in here, click on select subject. It usually does a pretty good job. And then let's turn on this layer, hold the Alt key or the Option key, and then click on the mask button since we are creating a negative mask. And now since this texture is already bright, we just need to darken the existing background. And what is the blend mode that darkens? Multiply. So let's pick multiply here and look how realistic it looks. And here's the fun part you don't get with AI. If you had to click on the link button and then click on the layer thumbnail, press Ctrl or Command T. Right now, the mask and the layer are detached. So you can move it however you want. If you don't like this area, you can move it to that area. So these textures and overlays are an area of Photoshop where you just cannot afford an AI randomness. In this case, let's say you wanted to add some flare. You need to know how light works to add that flare. So here I have a flare overlay. I know that the light is coming somewhere from here, so we need to place that accordingly. Let's drag it and drop it right there. Now, one of the great features of Photoshop is reference point. If you're not able to see this, make sure that this is checked. Now you can move it wherever you want. First of all, let's place the flare right here. If you want to move the reference point, you can just drag it and drop it here, or you can hold the Alt key or the Option key and then click there, it automatically goes there. And then you can rotate from exact that point and hold the Alt key or the Option key. And then when you try to make it larger, it makes it larger from that point. There you go, hit enter or return. Now, what is the blend mode that brightens? Screen. Change the blend mode from normal to screen. That removes everything that is black and looks pretty awesome. You can always press Ctrl or Command T and adjust the position accordingly and hold the Alt key or the Option key, click there to move it there, and then you can rotate from that exact point. This is not only convenient, but when you use Photoshop tools like Screen, when you use layers for compositing, it is much more modifiable, customizable. And just for fun, I tried using AI to add a lens flare and look at what it did. Here's the before. And here's the after. I typed in, add a beautiful lens flare. First of all, it's blocking the face, but that's not even the point. Have a look at the elements right there. What is this? What direction is it following? It does not understand light. And this line should have been in accordance with the rays, not perpendicular and not so many. What is even happening? And if you closely look at the designs here, take a look. Before, see the design. After, you cannot afford that as a photographer. Let's talk about custom brushes and hand-painted things. You get that level of precision that's unmatched. Say you want to add more details to the eyes. All you have to do is to create a new layer, take the brush and go to downloads of this video to download the free iris brush. To install the brush, simply open up the drop-down, click on the gear icon and choose import brushes. Locate your brush and click on open. And your brush should show up right there. PiXimperfect iris brush. By the way, if you're a PiXimperfect Pro member, you have access to Pro Iris brushes, the complete set. Let's select it, and all you have to do in this new layer, with white as the foreground color, zoom in, let's make the brush smaller, just dab once. Now let's create a new layer on top of that and dab right here on this other eye. Why did we create a new layer? So that we can edit them separately. For this one, Control or Command T, and let's rotate it so that it's not exactly the same as the other eye. Now go back to the brush picker and let's select the general soft round brush. You can change the blend mode of both of these layers. Select both of them, normal, overlay, and look at the details. So good. And if there are excess areas, which there are, select the layer, click on the mask, and with that soft round brush, just erase the excess. Now I have a complete video on exactly this and making it even better that you can watch right here. Here I have another example. I added those same brushes, as you can see, to add different level of details, kicker light, highlights, and so many more details. Here's the before, as you can see, and here is the after. Alternatively, if we were to select this area and use AI again, what the heck does it do? What is this? What is this? And then you have to play lottery of generating many times and seeing what works and then modifying the prompt. Again, it did that. Why? You can also look for high-end custom brushes here at ENVATO. I just searched for watercolor brush and so many show up. So let's download one of these. Back to Photoshop, and this is a painting my mom made. And let's say I want to create an invitation card out of this and I want just a little bit of this painting. In the background, we have a white background, and this is not the whole of the painting. There is more to it, but I've just kept a little bit of that. You can simply create a negative mask by holding the Alt key or the Option key. Click on the mask button to create a black mask. And watch this. If we were to take the brush, we are going to choose those brushes that we downloaded, wet watercolor brushes. Let's select one of these, select the mask. With white as the foreground color, you can just dab. Already fantastic. Let's pick another one. You can just dab again, and that way you can bring out just a little bit of it. Add some text, add some designs. The flexibility you have to modify things without changing the original image makes all the difference. Now let's talk about compositing, one of the Photoshop tools that is still unmatched even after AI. So here you have a beautiful photo and say you just wanted to add some dramatic sky, and you typed in add dramatic clouds to the sky. And this is what the AI generated for me in the first try. It looks good, but if you have a look at it closer, have a look where the light is coming from. This is crazy. And where is the light coming from on the subject? From the left. Here's the before. These are the people, and who are these people? Let me share with you how easy it is to just create a composite. Again, I downloaded the sky from ENVATO. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Here in the sky, it seems that the light is coming from the right hand side. But in here, the light is coming from the left hand side. We can easily flip it, not a big deal. Turn that on, Control or Command T, right click, flip horizontal. Done. Now we need to take the sky away from the original image. Let's turn that off, select this. You can easily go to Select, Sky, or choose the Quick Selection tool, up to you, whatever you want to use. Sometimes the Quick Selection is better. To remove the sky, hold the Alt key or the Option key and click on the mask button. Now obviously you can take the sky under it and turn it on, and in most cases it looks okay, but this area is a little brighter, so it does not match as well. So we need to use another technique. Place it above, Control or Command T, and let's move it right about there. Hit enter or return. Change the blend mode from normal to multiply. Have a look. Now the mountains are nicely matching. So adjust the position first. I'm going to keep it right about there. Hit enter or return. Then click on the mask button. You already know where we are going with this. Take the brush. Take a soft round brush, not one of those watercolor ones. Take the soft round brush with black as the foreground color. Just softly erase these areas. See how nice this is, and it matches too. Creating patterns is something that Photoshop does absolutely flawlessly, and if you are a professional and if you have taste, you will appreciate this. Have a look at what AI does first. I clearly stated that we wanted a seamless pattern, right, with luxury elements. We wanted to see what AI thinks as luxurious elements, and you'll be shocked. This is what in the world is this? And this is copyrighted. This thing is copyrighted. We cannot use this. And even then, if you went to View, Pattern, Preview, this previews how it would look if we turn this into a pattern. You would notice that it is not seamless. You can clearly see the edges right there. Now, we don't have enough time to create a pattern from scratch, but if you were to select the brush tool, and let's add some symmetry by clicking and holding and choosing mandala, let's go with 5 counts. Hit OK. Then with the brush, you can create whatever pattern you want. So let's say I want to create something like this. Now, if you were to go to View, Pattern, Preview, and this would be an absolute wonderful pattern. And on top of that, if you wanted to connect these flowers, you can easily do so without any issues. So now when you zoom out, have a look at the pattern. Everything is just so wonderfully connected. So when you turn this into a pattern by going to Edit, Define Pattern, it will all connect. I'm going to name it Flower. So now when you want to add a pattern to any photo, for example this one, click on the adjustment layer icon and then choose Pattern. And here we are going to choose the flower that we just created. We can obviously decrease the scale to 20 or 30 for this example, and then use compositing to only add it in the background. I already did it in a very faded way. You can also search for graphics inside of ENVATO. I already did that, and there are just so darn many to choose from. So I downloaded this particular pattern and turned this into a seamless pattern using the same method that I showed you just now. And if you were to add this pattern to this photo, this is how it would look. Look how incredible this is. Coming to the more fun part of this video, and that is scripts and plugins. And you can find a bunch of free ones directly from Adobe. Just open up your Creative Cloud desktop app, go to Stock and Marketplace, and then Plugins. And then you can search for whatever plugin you want. For example, you're looking for something for design. Just search it, and then you can choose only free or paid plugins, up to you. Click on free, and you want it for Photoshop or any other application, check Photoshop, and all the free plugins for Photoshop will show up. And if you want to see everything, just remove your search term, which was design, and every free Photoshop plugin should show up right there. And there you also have PiXimperfect compositing. By the way, PiXimperfect compositing has both free and paid features, just so you know. And let me show you a fun free plugin. I'm going to search for PiXimperfect, and there is PiXimperfect Signature. Click whatever plugin you want, and then you can click on install right there. Now it's a very cool plugin that allows you to extract your signature. So I signed on a piece of paper and I scanned it, and this is how it shows up. And once you have installed the plugin, you can go to plugins and open that plugin. PiXimperfect Signature, let's open that up. All I have to do is click on Convert Signature, and it's extracted. You can change the color of the signature by clicking here to whatever you want. For example, I want blue. You can save it as a file if you want it to bring in anywhere by clicking here. There are just so many options. Or the most fun part, you can turn this into a brush. Let's click on Extract so that it now has a transparent background, and then click on the brush button. Let's name this as Sign. Hit OK, and now you have a brand new brush that you can use to sign your photos. Let's create a new layer. Take the brush. See, that brush, sign brush, is automatically selected. With white as the foreground color, I can put my signature right there. And if you're looking for something more outside of Adobe, if you go to ENVATO, you'll find these inside of add-ons. Click there or go to the add-ons category, and just maybe Adobe Photoshop support. There are actions, presets, brushes, but also plugins like these, like Shadowify. I installed it and it's a pretty nice plugin. Let's go to Plugins, Shadowify, and you can add any kind of shadow that you want, or open the main one. It has some presets that you can try. Let's click on this one. You can pick the angle, the distance, everything, and click on Create Shadow. And it does create the shadow, and change all of these real time, like the end opacity, opacity of the ending areas, overall opacity, or the distance if you wanted to make a longer shadow, but it looks very staggered, so you increase the number of steps to make it softer. You got so many ways to work with this, and you can create shadows of any kind. If you click here and click on Create Shadow, it creates a shadow like that. There is no possible way with AI to create something this adjustable, and to create something that you can use in your professional workflows. So before using any AI, you need to ask yourselves two questions. Number one, are you getting the control and precision needed for your workflow and for your kind of work? If the answer is no, professional tools in those areas will always make sense. Question number two, have you developed a taste? Have you studied design? Have you studied photography? Have you learned the fundamentals of light? If no, AI can create things for you, but AI doesn't have taste. You do. So I recommend focusing on mastering the art first, because only that will make you stand out, whether you're using AI or not. And as for real assets, don't forget to check out ENVATO. This is one of the very few places that focus on real assets where you just cannot go wrong with the subscription. Check them out using the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give us a like, and also don't forget to subscribe, and not just subscribe. Ring the bell so that you, my friend, don't miss any other feature tips, tricks, or tutorials. I'll see you in my next one. Till then, stay tuned and make sure that you keep creating.
Lucky, lucky, lucky me.